This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
The Noto Peninsula earthquake on January 1st, 2024, and the heavy rains that followed in September caused severe damage to Motoya Market and the surrounding area. UNN field messenger Akira interviews the market owner to learn more about the impact.
Hello, this is Field Messenger Akira reporting for UNN from Noto Peninsula in Ishikawa Prefecture, northern side of Japan mainland. This is the third report about Noto Peninsula earthquake, which occurred in the 1st of January 2024. The founder of Motoya Market, Mr. Motoya, talks about what he experienced.
最初ね、1月1日、普通お店は休みなんですが、ちょうど地震が来まして、そして非常に地面とかずっと割れて、そしてこの近所の方もみんなここが安全だろうということでここに集まってきました。で、隣の家なんですが、中に怪我人が出まして、そしてそれをじゃあ作ろうということで3人がかりで家の中入って、そして作ってきました。
Mr. Motoya and his son worked very hard for the reopening of the market, and in September, what was even worse, a heavy rain disaster occurred and wiped away everything.
木とかこういったものはずっと店に流れてきたわけです。そしたらね、こうガラスが割れまして、そしてこう店の中でも2メーターほど水がダーッときました。
But the market reopened miraculously only 2 months after the flood, with the aid and support of many people, including 1,200 volunteers. And the market is providing the storage room as the assembly or event space for the inhabitants.
海外で要するに家族の輪、それから近隣の人の輪、それ自体を学びました。若い時とかそういった時は自分さえ良ければという感じでしたけど、今は違いますね。人の平和、それから人の要するに手助け自体ができれば、それが幸せになります。だから今近所の人みんな集まってますけども、仮設でもほとんど孤独でテレビ見てるからそういうもんです。そこに今高校来た時、女性同士で行った話してるでしょう。だからね、孤独からみんな逃れたいんですよ。で、ここに炊き出しに品物来るだけでみんな幸せなんです。笑顔を見てごらんなさい。皆さん笑顔ですよ。だからね、それを見るとね、そんな笑顔を見ると幸せですね。
This is Field Messenger Akira reporting from Noto Peninsula in Japan. Thank you for watching.
UNN field messenger Steve explores the egg prices in northern Edmonton, Canada, after the last avian bird flu outbreak in 2022.
Hi, Steve M. here, Fort McMurray, Alberta, a frosty minus 27 degrees Celsius. We're going to go check egg prices today downtown, the Real Canadian Superstore, Fresco, and Sobeys. And just got to remember that this is all Canadian money priced, so they are low priced compared, but yeah. Anyways, let's go have a look. At Superstore, the prices varied from high-end organic eggs, close to $10, to $4 for commercial medium-grade eggs. And here we are at Fresco, and here's some of the prices: $7.99. This one I know a pretty good deal. $4.07, $4.15, $9.99 for a flat. And here we are at Sobeys. We can see some of the prices: $4.17, $4.19, and then $10.39 for the 30s. Some high-end eggs, and yeah, prices seem to be pretty good. There's some more expensive ones, and a cheap one. prices seem to vary quite a bit. There's an empty space here, empty space there. Well, there you have it. Egg prices in Fort McMurray. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Hopefully spring will be here. Steve M. reporting, UNN News.
Tobacco remains a major health threat, even in today's world, despite growing awareness and regulations. Millions of people continue to suffer from its devastating effects, including preventable diseases and early deaths. It's a challenge that affects individuals, families, and communities, reminding us there's still work to be done. According to the World Health Organization, tobacco is highly addictive and a leading cause of serious health issues like cancer, heart disease, and lung disease, killing more than 8 million people annually. Most deaths occur in low and middle income countries targeted by aggressive tobacco marketing. Secondhand smoke also harms non-smokers, causing 1.2 million deaths each year and affecting nearly half of all children worldwide. Also, smoking during pregnancy can lead to lifelong health problems for babies. However, tobacco isn't just bad for your health. What is less well known is it's bad for the environment too. Every year, 4.5 trillion cigarette butts are tossed into the environment, making them the second biggest source of plastic pollution. From farming to production to disposal, tobacco causes serious environmental damage every step of the way.
The industry is also responsible for polluting land, water, and air with toxic chemicals, including arsenic, lead, and ammonia nitrates from the production process, as well as the disposal of these products after use. Tobacco plants require large amounts of water, fertilizers, and pesticides to grow, which are often manufactured or produced by companies that are based in developing countries with little or no environmental regulations. These chemicals include nicotine and various additives like ammonia, formaldehyde, and acetone, which are used during the manufacturing process. These chemicals can be found in cigarette smoke and secondhand smoke. When they get into the environment through improper disposal of cigarette butts or other waste materials, their effects can be devastating on ecosystems and wildlife. The chemicals are especially harmful to fish because they disrupt their endocrine system, their ability to reproduce and grow, as well as their sensory organs that help them find food and avoid predators.
Back in 2003, the World Health Organization introduced the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, an international treaty aimed at cutting down tobacco use and exposure to tobacco smoke. It officially came into effect in February 2005. So far, 180 countries have signed the treaty, covering 90% of the world's population. Key measures include health warnings on cigarette packs, plain packaging, and bans on tobacco advertising and indoor smoking. Increasing taxes on tobacco remains one of the most effective ways to reduce consumption, while also raising funds for health programs. In 2018, a new protocol was added to fight illegal tobacco trade, which reduces tax revenue, fuels crime, and weakens tobacco control efforts. Despite these efforts, tobacco is still one of the leading causes of preventable death worldwide. Why does this continue, even with so much awareness and legislation in place?
Tobacco companies conceal the deadly truth about smoking. In the early 1950s, the evidence was starting to mount that smoking was deadly. But the truth about the dangers of smoking was kept hidden from the public for decades. It wasn't until the late 1990s that Philip Morris, one of the largest tobacco companies, finally admitted that smoking could cause cancer. But why did it take so long? The answer lies in the dark and sinister tactics used by tobacco companies. They were major lobbyists and generous donors to political campaigns, using their influence to buy favor with politicians and refute the science linking smoking to health risks. They even went as far as to suppress research, destroy documents, and manipulate the use of nicotine to increase addiction. In 2006, a federal judge finally exposed their lies and found tobacco companies guilty of conspiracy. But the question remains, how many lives were lost as a result of their deceit? At least now, we know that.
In January 2025, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration or FDA, proposed a rule to limit nicotine levels in cigarettes and other combusted tobacco products, making them minimally or non-addictive. The FDA first announced plans for this rule in 2018 and is now seeking public input and advice from its Tobacco Products Scientific Advisory Committee. The agency is seeking public input on key topics, including which products should be covered, the proposed nicotine limits, the 2-year timeline for compliance, and possible impacts on public health and illicit trade. The public comment period runs from January 16 to September 15, 2025, and all feedback will be reviewed before the FDA decides on its next steps.
Well, what they're proposing is to cap the amount of nicotine found in tobacco products to 0.7 milligrams. Now, to put this in perspective, Mary, the average cigarette has 17 milligrams of nicotine in it. So this is significantly lower. And the goal here is to reduce addictiveness. We want to hook less young people to nicotine and make it easier for people who are trying to quit. However, the big glaring question here is, why are they not proposing this rule on e-cigarettes or nicotine pouches? Because we know both of those delivery systems have targeted young users. So there's a big piece of the public health story that's missing from this regulation.
Some countries are taking steps to limit smoking. For example, New Zealand banned tobacco sales to anyone born after January 1st, 2009. The law, set to start by July 2024, included fines up to $96,000 for violations. However, New Zealand has reversed that smoking ban after a year, with the Prime Minister citing concerns about a black market surge, sparking outrage amongst health officials and anti-tobacco groups. Also, the UK has introduced the Tobacco and Vapes Bill to create the first smoke-free generation. Starting January 1st, 2027, the legal age to buy tobacco will increase by 1 year each year. This means anyone born on or after January 1st, 2009 will never be able to buy tobacco legally. Tobacco remains a global challenge affecting health, the environment, and communities worldwide. While progress has been made through treaties and regulations, there's still a long way to go.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
Hemp heart smoothies and a plant-based diet can help reduce inflammation and improve health. UNN Field Messenger Rick shares his amazing results after making these changes in his lifestyle.
Hi, my name's Rick, and I'm a field messenger with United Network News. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit about my health journey, where I've been and where I'm at today, and what I have done in between. Back in August of last year, I had a very, very unhealthy prostate, and it was so unhealthy, I had to seek professional help. I used traditional allopathic medicine. I also used a naturopathic doctor, as well as seeking treatment out of the country in Mexico at a special blood treatment center. What I found out is that losing weight, exercising, and your diet is the key to healing. I went on a traditional, I would say, half plant-based diet, where I was eating traditional animal proteins and then fruits and vegetables, lots of salads, for about 5 months, where I was able to reduce my prostate inflammation significantly. So about a month ago, I was introduced to a person from Hemp Planet Cafe. And this person Cindy Amick, had a 21-day protocol of eating totally raw, but utilizing the hemp heart protein, the edestin protein, in a green smoothie. And it was a 21-day challenge. I have just completed that 21-day challenge and have had significant results. My blood pressure has come down. My energy levels are way up. And also my prostate PSA level has come significantly down. This is the first time that I've been able to use a plant-based diet and feel fulfilled and not having any cravings for other foods. The program is a 32-ounce smoothie in the morning where you sip it very slowly, and then in the afternoon, another 32-ounce smoothie. I'm going to show you how that smoothie's made right now, so hope you enjoy. One of the things I forgot to tell you is during this process, I've lost over 40 pounds. The smoothie is a half a cup of hemp hearts, 2 scoops of the protein, and I'm using cachava. I also use a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, a tablespoon of flaxseed oil, and 2 grams of hemp leaf cold press extract powder. I use a scoop of spirulina. Also use a banana and a half a cup of strawberries. And the best part, mixed greens, cilantro, baby spinach, kale, all kinds of mixed greens. And then I'm going to put in 32 ounces of water and then to my powerful blender. And now taste it. It's so good. You want to drink this very slow over about a 4-hour period. Very good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Rick reporting, United Network News.
Getting kids to eat natural whole foods can sometimes feel like an uphill battle. With all the processed, sugary options vying for their attention, how do you make fruits, vegetables, and other whole foods exciting? As it turns out, a dash of creativity can make all the difference. Kids get bombarded with ads for junk food in the sneakiest and most entertaining ways. Think bright, flashy packaging, goofy mascots, and jingles that get stuck in your head forever. Companies know exactly how to grab a kid's attention. Throw in a toy, slap their favorite cartoon character on the box, or sneak ads into YouTube videos and even schools. Suddenly, sugary cereals and fast food seem way cooler than boring old fruits and veggies. Sneaking spinach into their smoothies might give them a nutrient boost now, but how do you turn them into lifelong fans of real, wholesome food? Let's start from scratch. Grow your own food. Getting kids involved in growing their own food is a game changer for building lifelong healthy eating habits. When they plant, water, and watch their veggies grow, they develop a natural curiosity and appreciation for fresh, whole foods. It's way more exciting to eat a tomato you've picked yourself than one from a store. Gardening also teaches patience, responsibility, and the magic of how food actually gets to the plate, making kids more likely to choose fresh produce over processed snacks. And when kids feel that sense of pride from picking their own veggies, eating healthy stops being a chore and starts feeling like a win. Schools can get involved as well. Many countries have incorporated gardens into their school curriculums to promote healthy eating, environmental awareness, and hands-on learning, including this elementary school in Germany.
Radijsjes en sla. Mama gaat weer denk ik aan salade van. Ja, die kunnen salade van maken. Lekkere salade. Ik had niet verwacht dat het salade ook ooit zou worden.
Ik denk dat het op dit moment in de maatschappij dat mensen en kinderen ook steeds verder van de natuur afkomen te staan. En zeker als je in de stad woont, dan is alles maar te verkrijgen in de supermarkt. Doordat ze hier elke week naartoe komen en ze zien hoeveel zorg ze daar elke week aan moeten besteden. Doordat ze aan het eind van de lesreeks die kleine worteltjes hebben geoogst. Ervaren ze ook de waarde van hun voedsel, van hoeveel werk er eigenlijk bij komt kijken. En hoeveel liefde je het moet geven.
Ga maar eens kijken. Misschien herken je het dan. Wat is dus? Oogsten. Klopt dus, fijn dat het eruit is. Zo. Wat? Deze maaltijd. Mag ik hem net dan moet dan heb je iets om te eten. Het is gelukt en je kan het eten.
Getting their hands dirty in the garden gives kids a real sense of pride and curiosity about healthy eating, which makes them way more likely to stick with those habits as they grow up. And research backs this up. A gardening program at a U.S.-based school in Texas showed hands-on food education can improve kids' eating habits in underserved areas. The Texas Sprouts study, which involved more than 3,000 elementary students, found incorporating gardening, cooking, and nutrition lessons led to a significant boost in vegetable eating amongst kids in low-income communities, where fresh produce is scarce and obesity rates are higher. Another great way to spark curiosity about healthy foods is to get kids involved in meal prep. It can start with picking the ingredients, whether that's from a garden or a fun trip to the farmer's market. Letting them help choose and prepare what's on the table makes it all feel more exciting and personal. This is exactly what's happening in San Francisco with a local program called Food Wise Kids. Since 2012, they have partnered with local schools to take more than 20,000 students to the farmer's market to learn about where food comes from. The goal? To get kids excited about fruits and veggies.
Got really excited to get the experience of going into the market and buying the fruits, buying the vegetables. I mean, I think it gave them like more of a sense of responsibility.
What I love about FoodWise Kids is working with the kids and seeing how excited they get about meeting the farmers and cooking with the fruits and vegetables and tasting the food.
What do you think you would call this an elephant part month?
Seeing them try something for the new time that they maybe would have not gotten to try if they hadn't come to the program.
You guys ready to go shopping?
Kids are constantly faced with marketing about high sugar products, sodas. They might not have even tried a fresh strawberry before.
Getting that real life experience of actually purchasing the items.
I think the most exciting thing that kids take away from the FoodWise Kids program is the empowerment to get to make choices about their food. So they get to walk through the market and talk to the farmers and decide, do I want a purple carrot or do I want a yellow carrot or do I want broccoli or do I want strawberries? And I think that's really important when trying to get your children to eat more fresh produce.
It's all about making the experience fun for children. Kids love games, so why not turn mealtime into one? Try a rainbow challenge where they earn points for eating colorful fruits or veggies, or set up a blindfolded taste test with a prize for the winner. Get creative by using cookie cutters to shape fruits and veggies into fun designs, or making silly faces on their plates. You can also make trying new foods exciting. Pick one new food each week. Learn about it and have the family rate it together. Games like Veggie Bingo or a food scavenger hunt make eating healthy feel like a fun challenge, not a chore. Getting kids excited about healthy eating doesn't have to be tough. When mealtime is fun and interactive, they'll develop a love for whole foods. Plus, when parents get excited and lead by example, it makes a big impact. Try these ideas and watch both you and your kids get more into healthy eating together. Around the world, abandoned golf courses are getting a new life. And it's all about nature. In places like Scotland, the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia and Canada, conservation groups and local authorities are stepping in to turn these spaces into thriving natural habitats. These transformations improve air, water, and ecosystems, showing the power of giving nature space to heal. Golf started in Scotland between the 15th and 17th centuries and was originally played on shared public spaces. These days, it's often seen as a luxury sport tied to exclusive clubs and resorts. But it comes with a big environmental cost. Golf courses use up a lot of land. And a 2024 Cornell study found countries like the United States and the United Kingdom dedicate more land to golf than to wind or solar energy. The United States alone has 16,300 courses, covering about 2 million acres. While courses are often built in beautiful locations like deserts or near oceans, their construction can destroy ecosystems, as noted by the Seattle Journal of Environmental Law. Beyond land use, golf courses consume around 1.5 billion gallons, which is 5.7 billion liters, of water daily, primarily from lakes and wells, according to the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. They also use around 100,000 tons of fertilizers like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash each year. Runoff from these chemicals, along with pesticides, can harm humans, wildlife, and ecosystems.
Sorry, golf courses canceled. Why? According to a recent study by the New York Attorney General's office in the Toxic Fairways report, reveals that golf courses present a significant risk to human health and the environment. And if you live in the U.S., researchers found that pesticide risk on golf courses is on average 15 times higher than those in the EU. Cancer is the biggest risk, with massive evidence indicating a positive relationship between exposure to pesticides and development of some cancers. Ouch. The use of pesticides on golf courses is a bad situation for everyone, including the workers who mix and spray these chemicals, golfers, nearby residents get pesticides blown from the course onto their property, and chemicals leaking into groundwater or washing into streams. So if you live near a golf course, you may want to ask what chemicals they are using and if they know the risk. And if you spend every weekend playing 18 holes, you may want to petition your courses to go more natural.
Since 2006, more golf courses have closed than opened each year. Conservation groups are turning these abandoned courses into natural landscapes by restoring wetlands, reintroducing native species, and combining them with nearby parks. One remarkable success story is the transformation of the San Geronimo Golf Course in Marin County, California. After the Trust for Public Land, or TPL, purchased the property in 2018, they began converting it into San Geronimo Commons, a public green space with restored creeks, protected habitats, and trails for walking and biking. Once a golf course, it's now a haven for wildlife, including the endangered coho salmon. Ocean Meadows is another successful transformation of a former golf course.
Further down the coast in Santa Barbara is another of TPL's acquisitions, Ocean Meadows. The 9-hole course was built in the 1960s on the side of a wetland. To create it, developers filled the plain with 500,000 cubic yards of soil. TPL purchased the 64-acre in 2013 and started restoring the wetlands, removing the soil that had been added during construction and planting native vegetation. Since then, migratory birds have replaced birdies, and at least 2 pairs of threatened western snowy plovers are successfully breeding in the area's mudflats.
However, challenges like funding and competing land uses, such as housing, remain. Still, efforts to create these green spaces are growing, giving more people the chance to connect with nature. Golf courses don't have to close to become more nature-friendly. Some organizations have saved courses from closure by opening them to the public and managing the land to support wildlife. Many courses are reducing maintenance, increasing naturalized areas, and using less fertilizer and water, which also lowers costs. While these efforts benefit the environment, they can sometimes impact the playability of the course. Wilder golf courses can serve as inspiration for other landscapes, including cities and managed lands.
Golf courses are often criticized for their environmental impact, but how are they evolving to become more sustainable? As awareness of environmental issues grows, many golf courses are taking significant steps towards sustainability. Initiatives such as water conservation, native landscaping, and habitat preservation are becoming standard practices. Courses are increasingly implementing eco-friendly practices, such as using recycled water for irrigation and minimizing chemical use. Understanding the environmental impact of golf and the industry's efforts to address these challenges is crucial for ensuring the sport's future and preserving natural resources.
Rewilding golf courses transforms forgotten spaces into thriving ecosystems for nature and people. These areas become parks, community hubs, and places to learn about biodiversity. With time and care, wildlife returns, and communities reconnect with the environment. Nature always finds a way.
At UNN, you are the news. Get involved by joining our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Visit unitednetwork.earth to learn more. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me.